No, like, shit, I was just protecting my little brother.
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who did it, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, shit, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying fucking shit like that, cause I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like, at the end of the day, if they ain't never popped that shit off, that would have never happened like that.
Durk had a court hearing today about Durk's life in prison because prisoners have been targeting him for money, commissary requirements, and phone time. It is thought that Quando Rondo is attempting to get vengeance on Durk for removing Q's buddy Lil Pab. Sources claim that Durk's quick transfer to prison was brought on by problems in his cell block. Being a well-known rapper probably made him a target for money, but a few days after this situation, Rondo and his friend Lil Tim conducted interviews regarding the Durk case because Lil Tim was the one who initiated it all by killing King Vow in 2020. Today, however, he claims that the entire incident should never have occurred because, as he puts it, I was just protecting my little brother when you finally learned that it was King Von. How did you feel? I thought, damn if I did that stupid. I was thinking, Shay, no, the type of person I am, like I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying like that, cause I could get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type, like I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but at the end of the day, if they ain't never popped that off, that would have never happened like that. Quando Rondo went on to say he's responsible for his family and many other people close to him, but now he's thrown that all away. He has kids and a mama that 100% loves them. We're not glorifying negativity, we're more than just street guys. Despite Durk having people after him, he announced in a phone call that he isn't taking protective custody because he called a street friend who posted the call, captioning it, "Just got off the phone with my brother." Durk is in good spirits, staying positive and trying to get back home to his kids and family. All of this bullshit that we're talking about is stupid and could have been handled in a completely different way, even to the point where a song and $34 million could have been released or something similar. Regardless of our financial situation, we are men of honor and the code, therefore, buddy, hit the main line with the rest of our type without protective custody. Say what? This call is coming from a federal jail. Yes, I see how that is, but that doesn't matter, buddy, I replied. I know you're, but if you need anything, you know I got you, a PPR. We haven't ever moved all the money except for that first time. Once it was that, it was everything, it was his. Yeah, I can't, what P like man, no man, S me upstairs. Whatever it is, I got to music coming. However, DJ Academics revealed why he believes this is a mistake on Lil Durk's part with. All due respect to whoever 900 Brara is. Again, with all due respect to you, the guy's fighting for his life. I get it, but for whatever reason, which I still think would be a dumb reason. Let's say that Durk wants to address the people, you know how you put this out. You say, yo, Durk, we on you, let him say what he's saying to the public and you cut it off. We don't need to hear why back and forth because a lot of this audio kind of feels like maybe this wasn't how Durk wanted to first communicate with everybody in the world. Anything he does is going to go viral. Having a conversation about, you know, even if you think it's in good faith, yo, we don't move off money, nah, blah, blah. It don't sound right, brother. However, Little Durk's lawyers have been trying to get Durk transferred to a lower security jail for peace of mind, otherwise known as a celebrity jail with nicer jail cells. However, we saw Charleston White talk about how why A&W Melly shouldn't get any special treatment in jail, which relates to Lil Durk wanting a lower security jail even. The YMW Melee, I'm so happy he in jail get mistreated. I'm so happy here in jail getting mistreated, homie, oh homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a mothering thing about being mistreated when you done chose to play somebody. However, the judge quickly denied all of L. Durk's lawyers' requests for a disturbing reason. It was announced L. Durk found out his co-defendant OTF Vaughn filed for protective custody when they came to court together this week. This got the attention of L. Durk's friend Bezu, as he reacted on Instagram Live. Know what's going on, but them people that's in them courtrooms, man, for real. Don't be false accusations. Why don't even know what the be going on for real? We all really be trying to play inspect the gadget and all this it while just be weird, as that's what I be talking about, man. Like first, why all three the jams rumors out there now? Why all talking about funny a snitch gang, a snitch on what? Y'all don't even really know what's going on for real, my kids. Why all really just be running, and that's why I don't participate in nothing that got to do with nothing illegal. Cause you why all be trying to get put under the jails? Why all trying to go let meet Larry for the first time? You hear me? When you see Flo post anything, you almost have to say, look at this headline, because DJ Academic spoke about OTF Vaughn supposedly snitching on Lil Durk, which is where things go crazy. When they appeared in court, Lil Durk discovered that his co-defendant OT Vaughn King Von cousin F was seeking protective custody. Okay, that sounds crazy. That's why we have streams like this one, where I'm not going to jump on anyone or anything like that, but I definitely aim to be correct, and I never try to be wrong out of malice. We also like to bring up the paperwork and try to explain it, because oftentimes these days the headline is much better than the story, but the real snitching has come from OTF Jam. Since the Fed said that if they knew King Val, they would probably know Durk as well as their boss, who supplied the video of Vonnie jewelry shopping with King Von and the other two suspects, D and Boogie. You're excellent, my buddy. They got in here, man. Because he just stepped in, the money man stepped in, but the court was further updated with the report that the feds believe Durk paid to get these two people dealt with. The first was Stefan Mack, who removed Durk's brother D. The second was OTF Jam's baby mom, who passed away shortly after Durk learned about the wire. The feds believe OTF Jam is the key to locking Durk up for all three crimes, as they disclosed that Jam was wearing a wire in this Instagram live because he was constantly grabbing at his jacket. Hey G, like back in the music day, ain't G lie man. Hey, I grew up wondering what happened to DSCH and all that wailing on the end got your metro. But the feds kept laying out evidence against Durk, revealing this Instagram live of Durk that he streamed on the day of Lil P's death, stating that they think Durk was attempting to fabricate an alibi for himself. Boy, too, you know what, small people? Someone said SL for KH and he responded, bro, like a cheeseburger and nothing cheesy over here. Stupid little boy, this is real water. If someone asks me to give them a shout out for some jewelry, I make sure to drop the name Y in that V. But even when people tell Durk to slide through, he just laughs on Instagram live like it's all a joke. However, what's ironic is that the legal system is now using his lyrics against him, taking everything he said and turning it into evidence. It's like a wild turn of events, especially when you consider how much of a spectacle the jewelry and fame have become for him. It's clear he and his crew have all their jewels out for everyone to see. I can't help but wonder what it's like to be in a situation where the Me Too mentality of the streets comes into play. It's a dangerous game where everyone is trying to get ahead, but sometimes it costs you more than you realize. Think about the impact this has on a family when you watch the news and hear about a tragic loss like the one involving Lil Pav, and then you see your son in the background yelling, no, you realize just how deep this goes. That moment is a chilling reminder of the chaos that surrounds these events. Quando Rondo's reaction to Lil Pav's death, his own shout of no, was a heartbreaking scene to witness. A passenger in that car was deeply disturbed by what they witnessed that night, and it's hard to ignore how the lyrics of artists like Lil Durk and others get connected to these real-life events, bringing them into the courtrooms as evidence. As the case unfolds, Brick Baby spoke out, mentioning that he would have provided the location of Quito Rondo if Lil Durk had asked him to. It raises a lot of questions. Why is it that people in this circle feel compelled to get involved in such deadly drama? And why do some feel the need to share information that could lead to a life or death situation? There's an unsettling reality that people like Brick Baby are talking openly about this, with some even admitting that they might have helped if asked. The code of the streets becomes more complicated when loyalty to your friends in your neighborhood gets tested. Let's get real for a second. There's a tendency among some individuals to boast about their connections, saying things like, I didn't do it, but what's the harm in giving my friend the address? It's this sense of loyalty and code of silence that keeps many of these underground operations running smoothly. Yet in the same breath, we hear from insiders who acknowledge that they probably would have given up the information if asked, showing how blurred the lines are between loyalty and betrayal. Even when they say, I would have probably agreed if he'd asked, there's a certain ambiguity about whether or not it's right to help out someone in trouble, even if it means crossing a moral line. And then there's the matter of Lil Durk, who some claim may be his own worst enemy. Ironically, it's possible that Durk's lyrics, which are seen as a reflection of his life and experiences, could come back to haunt him in court. But despite the accusations, it's clear that Durk isn't about to let anyone from his OTF camp, especially not OTF Jam, snitch on him. In fact, reports surfaced claiming that OTF Jam was found hiding out in Atlanta by members of his own crew after he allegedly snitched on Durk. The situation took a dramatic turn when sources said Jam was dealt with and punished for his betrayal. There was even a photo circulating showing where Jam had been staying, proving just how high the stakes are in this game. But it doesn't stop there. Brick Baby also came forward implicating Durk in a public statement, claiming that Durk was responsible for the hit on Lil Pav. This just adds fuel to the fire, with more fingers pointing in every direction. 5 Chicago gang members, all tied to Lil Durk and his OTF movement, were accused of being involved in the killing of Quando Rondo in Los Angeles. The crime was supposedly part of a larger conspiracy surrounding the death of Lil Pav, and now those suspects face serious penalties if convicted. This entire situation, filled with legal battles, street code, and accusations, serves as a harsh reminder of the violent and dangerous world that these artists, their entourages, and their communities are caught in. The intersection of street life and the music industry is a volatile mix that continues to make headlines and, more importantly, change lives forever. The indictment alleged that flights and rental cars were paid for with credit cards linked to OTF, but was this an attempted hit? Say that no more than they put you? Oh yeah, because of face. Wait, no. Like who died? You can't say that no more. Oh, because of FBG Cash, talking about who federal charges in California, because Little P. So this is about the, but I'm just saying, they just say you can't say that no more, but with the Durk case still early on and lots of evidence being uncovered. His lawyers are telling him to lay low because it was also just reported. Lil Durk's case is starting to see the first pieces of evidence in court. Rumors from the court reveal there's footage from OTF Jam recording the planning process of OTF catching Quando Rondo's crew. It's just really unfortunate to see how Lil Durk's relationship with OTF Jam ended, because it was only a year ago that Jam was praising Durk for buying him a crib, and after Durk cashed out $50,000 and handed it over to Jam upon his release, it seemed like an act of loyalty. Durk had helped Jam out and now Jam was free. But instead of showing gratitude, Jam's behavior raised some serious questions. The whole situation began to spiral, especially when Jam started posting online, making cryptic remarks that were perceived as direct shots at Durk. Fans and followers saw Jam's continuous crying on social media as he posted about the struggles of life and the weight of his past. His words were emotional, but it felt like there was more going on beneath the surface. For Durk, this was beyond frustrating. He had helped Jam in ways that not many people would, offering financial support and backing when Jam needed it most. But the back and forth of online dissing was hard to ignore. Fans saw Jam as ungrateful, as he seemed to throw subtle jabs at Durk through the internet. For Durk, it was a betrayal. He couldn't understand how someone he helped could flip the script so easily. The situation grew even more complicated when Jam's actions began to raise suspicions about his loyalty. It became clear that Jam was involved in something bigger. After Jam's release, his freedom didn't last long. Shortly after being out, he was brought back in on serious firearm charges. If convicted, these charges could have kept him behind bars for another 10 years. Faced with the possibility of a long prison sentence, Jam made a choice. He decided to cooperate with authorities. This was a pivotal moment that shocked many of his followers. Why would Jam, who had been freed thanks to Durk's generosity, switch sides and start talking to the authorities? The answer seemed to be that Jam was trying to save himself from the consequences of his actions. The choice to inform or snitch is never taken lightly in the streets. Loyalty runs deep in certain circles, and once that bond is broken, it's almost impossible to repair. Jam's decision to cooperate, especially after Durk had helped him, cast a shadow over their relationship. But despite this betrayal, there's still hope for Durk. Legal experts are cautious, and some have expressed that the case against him might not be as solid as it seems. A professional lawyer weighed in on the situation, saying, "I'm hesitant to say they have a slam dunk case on Durk Banks. I think they have a long way to go to prove the conspiracy against him." This statement, while optimistic for Durk, also comes with a lot of uncertainty. The lawyer pointed out that they had seen one text that seemed problematic. The text in question was a message from Durk asking not to have his name associated with any flights being taken. While this text wasn't great for Durk, the lawyer clarified that it was just one piece of evidence in a larger investigation. It wasn't enough to build a strong case on its own. The text was certainly circumstantial, but it didn't provide direct proof of any criminal activity. The central issue now confronting Durk was whether authorities had gathered any substantial evidence that could directly link him to the alleged conspiracy. Until that point, the case against him had been largely built on circumstantial evidence, with the prosecution pointing to a single text message as their primary piece of proof. The question on everyone's mind was whether there were additional texts, phone calls, or other forms of evidence that could strengthen the case against him. Durk's lawyer had made it clear that, at this stage, circumstantial evidence like one text was simply not enough to bring formal charges. What the prosecution would need to move forward were stronger pieces of evidence, such as videotapes, audio recordings, or credible witnesses willing to testify under oath. Without such tangible evidence, building a case that would withstand a trial would be a daunting challenge. For Durk, however, the situation remained tense and uncertain. While the charges against him were undeniably serious, there was still no smoking gun, no undeniable proof that would cement his guilt. The only thing that could be said with any certainty at this stage was that the legal process had not yet reached its conclusion, and there was still hope for him to defend himself. But with each passing day, the pressure mounted, especially as new developments cast doubt on his innocence. The loyalty he had once shown to those around him, especially to his close associate Jam, was now being called into question. Jam, who had been a key figure in Durk's inner circle, was now cooperating with the authorities. This collaboration was a game changer, as it meant that Jam could potentially provide information that could make or break the case. What had once been a partnership of mutual trust was now threatened by the possibility of betrayal. Despite the situation's growing complexity, Durk held on to the belief that he still had a chance to clear his name. The legal process, though slow and fraught with obstacles, was his best hope for proving that the conspiracy charges against him were built on shaky ground. His lawyer's argument hinged on the lack of concrete evidence, suggesting that even if the authorities were working to build a case, they were still a long way from securing a conviction. Durk's legal team would need to remain vigilant, searching for flaws in the prosecution's evidence and challenging any claims that were not backed up by solid facts. However, with Jam now working with the authorities, Durk knew that the road ahead would be far from easy. The question of whether Durk could ultimately clear his name or whether the case would continue to spiral out of control was on everyone's mind. Jam's cooperation